Hey, everybody. That's right. Welcome back to a bonus episode here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Episode 61, AMS Big 20. We've got special guest, Mr. Mavrik Reilly, in the studio joining us here.
Welcome, Mavrik. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Last year's Big 20 winner. And I don't want to, of course, your teammates.
Yep.
You had Mitch Fohl, Reese Bakken, and
Cody, I don't know how to say his last name.
Kowalski.
Kowalczyk.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep, so I don't want to leave them out, but they were also part of your team last year.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys did a great job, and it's coming up this weekend.
I can't believe it's in 2 days.
I know.
It blows my mind. Where did May go? The month of May just
Gone.
Yep.
Gone.
Crazy.
Gone.
Crazy.
Yep. Are you ready, Mavrik?
Oh, yeah.
You are.
Born ready.
Born ready.
I like the confidence. That's awesome.
I think you were born for bowfishing, Mavrik.
I think so, too.
I think you were.
Unfortunately.
You know, the first time, I just remembered this now. The first time that I met you, Mavrik, was at a Bass Pro last year at the Bass Pro US Open.
Yes.
We had a booth set up.
That's right.
And I remember you came in. I remember you left at like 1 a.m. or something, got there at
Oh, I got there at 2 a.m.
Oh, okay.
I left right after work on Friday.
And then you got there and what, jumped in a boat to scout.
Yep.
And then you were at the booth the next day at 9 o'clock. I'm like, what is this guy? What's going on? I just remembered that. I'm like, yep, that's right. He was down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, we're going to get into the Big 20 here. We're going to do some questions from Mavrik. But first, Smitty, we've got a little bit of stuff to do before that.
Yeah.
Because we've got some pretty nice prizes for this year's Big 20,
Yeah,
you know.
some awesome stuff. Awesome.
But before we move on to the prizes, I do want to say that, just so everybody gets a heads up, there is some construction out here.
Yeah.
On Highway 153, which runs on the north side of the AMS facility.
Yep.
As you turn out of Stratford and come up to the industrial park, there are some signs that say road closed, but the roads will be open.
Yep.
For the boats to come in and register and get lined up and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's right west of there is where they're starting to tear up the roads.
Yeah. If you're going west on the intersection here in Stratford, there's 2 signs that say road closed.
Right.
But they're on the edges. There's been traffic going in and out of it for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So you're good to go through it. It's just a little
And
bit
all
dug
these
up.
big rigs and their trucks are going to have to make a wide turn there because you got those signs out
I
so
know.
far into the intersections.
Yeah.
Like
Yep. So you've been warned.
you've been warned, but just beware. But you're all good to go. You'll be able to get into the industrial park, get up here to registrations for takeoff. It's all going to be good to go. And one little cool thing that we've had ever since the very first Big 20 tournament is Randy Parker always makes the driftwood trophies that come from the Ohio River.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. So cool looking.
Well, this year we kind of had a hard time getting in because usually he finds somebody that's shooting a tournament from down there to come up and bring him up here when he comes.
Yep.
He couldn't do that this year, so he talked about shipping them, but it was like $500 for shipping them and stuff
Dang.
like that. So I was like, maybe this year we just can't get them.
Yep.
Well, all of a sudden he shoots me a text and says, hey, I got somebody to bring the trophies
good
up
deal.
there.
Good deal.
And it was my good old buddy Shot Willett.
Oh.
Shot was a big personality years ago in bowfishing.
Gotcha.
Great guy. Did a lot of stuff for the youth at the Cajun
Oh, that's cool.
youth events and stuff like that there
Nice.
over there. So he brought those up here, but it was funny because last Friday I was out in the woods that afternoon, and I get a text message from him. He's like, "Hey, I'm in Green Bay. Shoot me a pin for the location. I'll be there at 4:00 tomorrow."
In Green Bay.
Yeah, that was this is last Friday.
Okay.
I'm like,
And you were here in Stratford.
I was here in Stratford, but I'm like, I won't be there because I'll be down at the Wisconsin Bowfishing Association State Tournament tomorrow.
Okay.
At 4:00. Does he think the tournament's tomorrow?
Uh-oh.
So I called him up.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, hey, Shot, you're in Green Bay, huh? Oh, yeah. The wife, when I came down, drove up into Door County. It's beautiful out here, he says. But
no.
shoot me a penny. He says, we'll be up there tomorrow at 4. I'm like, I won't be there. There was a silence. All of a sudden, well, don't you have a tournament to run tomorrow? I'm like, that's next weekend.
Oh, man.
But it was no big deal. They're like, oh, that's okay. He says, send me a pin to where you're going to be tomorrow at 4:00. So he came to the Friendship there where they had the WBA tournament, and
Gotcha.
we dropped him off there. So we do have
A good deal. It
the
all ended
popular
well.
Randy Parker
Yes.
big and small fish trophies.
Yep.
Driftwood, everybody loves those.
I know when we have them sitting out Sunday morning during weigh-ins,
Yeah.
there's always a crowd
Yeah.
They're so unique looking. Everyone's just like, oh,
Yeah.
wow, look at those. That's not your typical, trophy that you get. It's
Right.
such a
They're
unique.
just unique, right?
Yeah,
They're
very
driftwood
cool.
unique
very
trophies.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe you can win one of them this year.
I'm gonna try for small fish.
There
Small
you go.
fish.
Whatever
There you
that
go.
is, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't picked it yet. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I'm kind of have an idea what it wants to be. Yeah. So we've got that. Another cool thing, Derek, is you know how we always in the off season during wintertime we have the hit or miss videos.
Yep.
Well, the person that won the final hit or miss and won the Hooligan V2 bow,
Oh yeah, he sent in some funny videos with that.
he sent
bow.
in a great
Yeah,
video
okay.
of that and stuff like that. There, Clint Murray
Yep.
is his name, and I believe he's from Michigan.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Well, he wanted to do something for youth.
Really?
So he got a hold of me and he talked to Wendy also, but he's going to donate $500
What?
in prizes to youth shooters here at the Big 20.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hats off to
How
Clint.
cool is that?
That's amazing.
That's really cool.
Wow.
Yep.
Giving back. Mm-hmm. That's very cool. Thank you, Clint.
Yep.
That's very cool.
Very cool. So Schmitty, we got some awesome prizes here.
Holy moly!
I mean, look at this donor list here. What do you think?
There's a lot of company logos on this sheet, Matt.
What do we got, Schmitty?
Oh boy, we've got obviously we've got AMS. We're going to be having all kinds of stuff there, donating
Yep.
and whatnot.
Yep.
We got Matthews Bows, Oneida Eagle Bows, WBA, Megamouth, Interlock. Corey's doing the Average Joe winner.
Right.
Interlock Broadheads, obviously. Dennis Redden's doing the Kentucky trip. End Designs, Powertrans, Scent Thief, Outdoor USA Innovations, John's Custom Boats, Umarex, Double Bull, Tacticam, Havilon.
I know.
The list goes on, and
Right.
hats off to everybody who's donating to the tournament.
Absolutely.
That's just fantastic. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
You know that Powertran is a kicker setup rig.
That's what I thought.
That's
I thought.
That's a heck of a prize right
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
That's a heck of a prize. And then also you got Christopher over at Outdoor USA Innovations with his efficiency lights.
Nice.
Set up a pack of lights. That's going to be that's a big prize.
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
absolutely.
Those are some sweet lights.
Aren't they
You ever
nice?
Shot off of them.
Very
You
nice.
Shot them up
I shot
Josh's
off of
boat,
them.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Very nice. You can change the colors on them. You can dim them up and down, and they're really nice lights.
I think like in 5 years, I'm just saying this, like I think that's going to be such a popular thing. I think that's eventually going to be what you see on a lot of boats. I mean,
Right.
now it's kind of a new thing, very cool. Technology's new and everything. He's got a heck of a little business plan going there. But I think in 5 years or so, that's going to be a lot more common than it is now. The
Right.
principle of how it works is amazing. It's
Yeah.
outstanding.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, I think on John's boat, he's got 2 on the side, and he's got a 5.5 foot long deck.
Yep.
He's got only 2 on the sides, and I think he's got 3 on the front and then 2 on the other side.
Yeah. I think he's only got 9 total. And
Right.
You could probably get away with 8.
Right.
Wow, and
pretty crazy.
It lights it up pretty good.
It's like a normal bow fishing boat when you're on it.
Yeah.
Once you're off of the boat, you look at it, they don't look very bright.
And that's the purpose of them.
That's nice.
The reflector with that, if you're shooting along houses or
Right.
populated areas.
Yep,
So
exactly.
pretty sweet.
yeah,
And like I said, the cool thing is he's right here in Wisconsin.
Oh,
You
for
know,
sure.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And,
Yep,
and,
very cool.
You know, so that's a really neat deal. So yeah, we've got some great prizes, Schmitty. I just want to get into some of the big fish prizes. I know we went over this in the last podcast, but it's tournament talk.
absolutely.
So we're going to talk about the big fish prizes and the prizes you can win. Heaviest Gar is going to win a PSE Mud Dog bow donated by the Wisconsin Bowfishing Association.
Awesome.
Heaviest Common Carp is going to win a AMS Hooligan V2 bow donated by AMS. Heaviest Buffalo is going to win an Oneida Eagle bow donated by Oneida.
Very cool.
Heaviest Drum is going to win $250 cash from John's Custom Bowfishing Boats.
Thank you, John. As always.
Heaviest Dogfish is going to win a Megamouth reel donated by Megamouth Bowfishing.
Heyo.
And the heaviest quillback or carp sucker is going to win a Watermark recurve donated by AMS Bowfishing.
Good deal.
Yeah.
That's some awesome prizes right there.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep. So we got some nice stuff. And this past weekend was the Wisconsin Bowfishing Association's first ever state shoot.
Nice.
They had a big, at their annual meeting, they had, they took votes on this to see what they wanted to do. And it passed by popular demand. And I think it was a great, you were competing in the tournament also, Maverick? Yep. You guys took second in numbers, is that correct?
Yep.
You guys took second
Nice,
in numbers. We ended up taking second in Big 30, or I like to call it Big 20.
Big 20 plus kickers.
Plus kickers.
There you go.
I'm not a fan of that rule.
Plus the fun fish.
Yeah.
Not
man.
big carp.
Yeah.
I like whenever you shoot a tournament, Matt, I always am looking at my Snapchat very closely because you'll send little videos of the night throughout the night. Like you'll send me you're going across the water at night.
Oh, yeah.
Then I'll go to bed and I'll see I got snaps at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock. It's like I have a little bit of a live stream there.
A little history.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I know you guys showed me some pictures of some fish. I'm like, ooh boy.
And here's the funny thing is we did not see that size of fish scouting.
Oh, okay.
Now, we did not scout Friday night. As a team, we said, nope, we're not scouting. We're just going to chill and relax and get good sleep, so we're ready to go for the tournament.
Yep.
We saw fish Thursday night when we scouted, but Friday night we didn't scout, and Saturday night. When you're shooting a tournament like that, we're not weighing every fish that we shoot.
Sure.
We're just, that's a good fish. I need a backup. Boom, you put a backup into it, into the barrel he goes, out with the arrows,
Onto
and
the
you're
next
back
one.
onto the next one.
Yeah.
So you're not weighing this. You know that they're a big fish, but
Sure.
you don't know how big they are until you put the scales on them when you're culling during weigh-ins.
So on that Thursday, you scouted Thursday night.
Yeah.
You said. Did you see those size of fish that you shot Saturday
No.
night on Thursday night?
No,
You didn't?
no.
Okay.
No, we figured we could have got a 22 to 23 pound average.
Wow.
From what we
Okay.
saw Thursday night.
Gotcha.
We didn't see any 30s when we were scouting, but we ended up weighing in 5 that were over 30. Our biggest was 38.
Yeah, you guys shot some hogs.
Yeah, it was a good night. We shot some good fish. There was one that looked like it swallowed a basketball.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it in your video. That
Yeah.
one was crazy.
Yeah,
looking.
John shot that one. He was like, holy cow, look at this thing, But we did miss one over 30.
Did you?
Yeah, I shot and missed, and then it came out of the reed grass and went in front of the boat, and then John missed, and then Jody shot, and he hit it. So we're all like, oh. So we chase it down.
Yep.
He's pulling up his arrow. You can start seeing his arrow. I shot. I got it. I didn't see the fish. I was just shooting at his arrow.
Yeah.
And then when we pulled it up out of the water, it was like a 14-pound common.
What?
There was 2 fish swimming together, and he, of course, had to get the little guy.
Yeah,
my
you always
gosh.
get the little male. It's always how it goes.
Oh, my gosh.
I remember when you sent me a snap weigh-in morning, and it was I remember this. It was you guys were calling out your fish, counting your fish.
Yeah.
I could hear. I think it was Jody and John counting, and they were adamant that you guys were counting the fish correct. If both of them at the same time. 1,
Oh, yeah.
2, that
Right.
makes 3 on this row. Next row, 4, 5, 6. Just to make
It's-
sure nothing.
It's so easy to happen.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I know we've seen it here at boat at weigh-ins here.
Right.
We'll have a boat, and I remember last year they didn't place necessarily really high, but they weighed in. They had like 19 fish. We're like, oh, where's your 20th fish? He goes, well, I thought we had 20, and I know we said no, there's 19
Right.
fish, and they're like,
Right.
oh God.
Yeah.
So it can happen. So
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. I'm like,
Does
that's
happen.
smart. That's
Yeah.
smart to do that.
Last year
Just
when we
make
culled
sure.
our fish, we didn't throw any away until we were done.
Right.
We did not want to chance that
Exactly.
shit.
Sure. Yep.
Exactly. And on what you just said, Maverick, a lot of times we'll keep 1 fish
Yep.
just to make sure that in case we do miscount, we have that one,
Right.
Or you
that
slip
we
in
can-
like 21 and 22 and get a little extra weight.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So Maverick, we've got some questions here we're going to ask you because
Oh boy.
I don't mean this in a bad way or nothing like that, but I kind of call you like the wild child in bowfishing around here.
wild child.
He's crazy. Maverick's a crazy dude on the water. I know I was out with him one night and he was like, "You better go in the back and hang on."
Just because you're old. Most guys don't get that. They see the throttles get pushed down and everybody hangs onto the light rail.
So he tells me to go hang on in the back.
Yeah, usually it's when you start going full throttle, I'm like, oh boy, okay, hold on. But for you to tell him to hold on, that must be a whole nother level.
Yeah. Then to get in the back of the boat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Get that kick on the boat.
Yep.
So okay, Maverick, I just want to know, how old are you right now, and how did you get involved in bow fishing?
I think I'm 25. Wasn't there when I was born, so I can't confirm that. But I want to say right around in high school, probably 15 or so, I watched all the bow fishing videos, thought it was super cool. Then I saw one of those plastic drum reels and a really crappy arrow at some sports store way up in Minocqua.
Okay.
Somewhere
Oh,
where
wow.
you really wouldn't expect to see that.
Right.
I bought that, and then we went to a creek by our house or whatever, and we started shooting at carp, and it's just, I don't know, it's snowballed from there.
Sure.
Yep.
Now, did you come to the youth events that we had on Pete and Well
Yes, but when I was 18.
when you were 18?
Yep.
Okay. Were you going out with a boat captain at that time?
Nope, I was a boat captain.
You
I
were a
shot.
boat
nice.
captain.
Very
Yep.
nice.
Okay. All right. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool. So you have a youth event, and you got Mavrik coming there who's 18 at that time.
Yeah.
Bringing his own boat to take out
That's cool.
other people, other youth shooters. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah,
How
those
cool
youth
is that?
events are super cool. I wish more people would show up to them, or you get more
Right.
kids to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So you just kind of went out in the creeks in the backyard, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. You just kept getting more involved into it, more hands-on, wanted your own boat and stuff like that. And
Yeah, I think Justin Wilkie really helped me get
Okay.
farther into bow fishing. I saw him at Waukau Creek. He would come there when the WBA had a dumpster for fish.
Sure.
And he'd bring his boat there in the morning after they'd shoot, and you'd see him unloading buffaloes and huge commons and gar. And
Yeah.
all we would shoot is like 15 to 20 pound commons out of that creek. So seeing all those sorts of fish, I was like, that's super cool. And the giant boat and
Yep.
all that sort of stuff. That was, that probably really kickstarted the boat. And
Sure. And that's
sure.
really cool because you see that so much. I remember even when I first started bow fishing, when I got my own boat, I'd go out and I'd shoot 15 or 25 carp, 14 to 18 pounds. I was like,
And you're a freaking big dog when you were
I
doing
was like,
that.
heck yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And then you see some of these other boats, just like what you were saying, when Justin would come in, you're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
How? What are they doing? How are they doing that?
Yep.
So, and it puts a drive. It gives you a drive and motivation to want to find out where those fish are, how
Right.
they shoot those fish, so it's kind of a neat deal.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think I started, even once I got my license, I was 16 then. Instead of going to that creek to shoot the commons, we went on the river, and I'd paddle around in my kayak, and you'd shoot like 4 or 5 fish. And I still remember shooting my first buffalo. I saw it, and I thought it was a gray carp. And I'm like, that's the coolest thing
really?
ever. Yeah. I probably have 50 pictures on an old phone in a dresser drawer somewhere of that fish. Yeah.
That's cool.
That was pretty neat.
Well, and just to go back to, you said that you've found this old reel at a Minocqua sports shop.
Yeah.
Like, we hear that something similar to that story all the time with how people are getting started. You don't need to. We obviously carry everything that you'd need to get into the sport of bow fishing, but you hear it all the time. Oh, my dad's old bow. We put line around an old drum reel and we shot fish. That's how it started. Now that same individual has a bow fishing boat. They've got 4 bows rigged up with reels and everything. If there's anyone listening, that's like, slightly intimidated about getting into the sport, you can start with the bare minimum and work your way up from there. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how 95% of everybody who bowfishes now, that's how they started. They started with something that was hanging on the garage wall, threw something together, and you can, you slowly work your way up from there. It's just crazy that's how almost everybody we have on starts,
Well, 2 weeks ago, you were shooting a boatload of fish from a canoe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those pictures were crazy that you were showing me.
Yeah. I think I sent him some Snapchat videos of it. And there's a lot of fish there.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was cool. That was cool.
And then you had Justin, I think, came down and both of you, and you guys tipped the canoe over.
Oh, yeah. He came up from Missouri. Yeah. Just a short and stout little fella, and he does not have canoe legs, that's for sure.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, I'll tell you what, Mavrik, tell us about some of your bow fishing journeys, as you've obviously done a lot of traveling bow fishing.
Oh, yeah.
Where have you been to?
A lot of places, and not a lot of places at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
South Dakota, I went out there for Worlds for 2 or 3 days, I think.
Yep.
Missouri for the U.S. Open. We stopped by Kentucky one time when I was buying a boat in Alabama,
Okay.
and only shot there for a couple hours.
Were you below the dams or on
we
the
went below
lake?
the dam, shot a couple pretty big silvers and one big head.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And then we missed the paddlefish by a couple hours.
Yeah.
A couple buddies were out in a boat, and they're like, you want to hop on? I was like, no, we haven't slept in like 40 hours. We're just going to go home. And then I got pictures once I got home with a boat full of paddles. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Do you have any of those? Do you have a favorite state at all from everywhere that you've traveled?
I'd say Wisconsin.
Okay, I was just going to wonder if that was going to
Wisconsin.
be your home state. Yep,
Yeah,
gotcha.
It's pretty hard to beat. I mean, Texas was a blast. I shot with Robert Blackburn down
Oh,
there.
sure.
Oh, nice.
One winter. We
Yep.
shot plecos, some tilapias.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Of course, commons, little
Yeah.
baby commons.
Did you shoot any gator gar when you were down there?
No, where we were, it wasn't really
Okay.
a gator gar spot.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it was 30 degrees that night too, I think, and I don't think
Oh.
he even wanted to be on the water. It's a little cold for those guys.
Yeah. As you're out there in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
out there.
Flannel. Yeah. Yep.
I remember when we went down there, it was cold. It was so cold, too, when we were down there a couple of years ago.
That was in February.
February. And
Yeah.
I remember the guy was telling us, he goes, boy, he says, it doesn't get this cold. And we're like, it's 45 out. Like, this is nothing.
Yeah.
But, that's a whole different world down there. I just remember it being cold compared to what it
the,
was.
The problem with that is all the fog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
The
fog.
water's
that-
50 degrees and the
Right.
temperature's 30.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Even this past weekend, I don't know if you had any fog where you
it
were
was
at, but
bad,
we had
bad.
a lot of fog too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Made it pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Sketchy.
Right. Because you, like I said, you guys shot numbers. How many fish did you shoot again?
597.
597.
God.
Yep.
And then you got, of course, Ben Chapin and their team. You know, they had just won Worlds week before, and there's some good shooters. They shot over 700, I think.
Yep.
They?
Yeah, they shot 700 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are your arms ready to fall off after shooting 597 fish?
Sometimes I think I cramped up about midnight, 1 o'clock, and then I slugged a Mountain Dew and I was ready to rip.
But he didn't cramp up
Oh,
because he was shooting so much.
I was wet.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Let's hear this now.
Like 5 minutes of being on the water.
Oh, no.
Josh whipped me out of the airboat hitting a boulder.
Oh.
I took a swim. Big old bruise on my shin, my elbow.
Landed right on top of a rock, didn't you?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
couple of them.
Oh, gosh. 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's tough.
Did you have a change of clothes in the boat long or no?
No.
Yeah.
In the back of his truck.
Oh, yeah.
You're definitely not
Yep.
going back to the truck that
Right.
early.
Yep.
You know?
Oh.
It got to like 50, and then it got pretty chilly once we started shooting.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't dry up till we were done at the end of the night there. So
That's tough.
that sucked.
That's a tough
tough.
night when
That's
that
tough.
happens.
It was. We were in enough fish though. You could keep shooting,
Sure.
And that's a good
Keep
thing
warm.
to keep you going, keep you moving
yeah.
and stuff.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, half of it when I was getting tired, I just like screw that. I'm gonna get cold. Or Bryce we're all in t-shirts shooting, and Bryce is driving the airboat in the back because of how treacherous what we were in was.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he was bundled up, earmuffs on, all the shit. He's cold. And I'm like, yeah, t-shirt soaking wet.
Oh, boy. That does not sound fun.
Captain Bryce Drager. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you here, Maverick, what's the biggest fish you've shot?
Big mouth buffalo.
Big mouth buff.
87 pounds.
Ooh. Wow.
That's a Tatanka.
That is a
yeah.
Tatanka.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thought it was a sturgeon when we first saw it in the water. And 2 guys missed it. Don't ask me how they missed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't.
When did you shoot that fish?
Late February, early March. Oh, wow.
Really?
A couple years
ago?
2 or
Okay.
3. I'm not
Okay.
really sure.
All right. Is that the one that you got?
Oh,
I don't know.
It got mounted.
It got mounted.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah.
right.
It got filled with spray foam and spray painted, basically.
I knew of Maverick back then, but a little bit, not as
Yeah.
much as I do now. And I remember him sending me a message on Messenger, I think.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't have your number, nothing like that there. And you said, what do you think about this mount? I looked at it. I'm like, I don't know what to tell him. I don't want to be rude to him or nothing, but I was like, looks kind of funny.
Yeah.
So what did you do with that fish?
The taxidermist gave me my money back.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
He put it up on his wall. He wanted to keep it. So
Sure. So you don't even have that fish.
Nope, not anymore.
Wow,
Kind of wish I did. It'd be kind of fun to bring to tournaments, put on the front of the boat and stuff.
That would be
He
good.
could be your
I don't-
captain.
Yeah, the paint would have peeled off it in less than a year, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Wow. So just going back to that fish, Maverick, do you remember the state of mind when you shot that fish and you're like, do you recall at all the what was going through your head when you see this fish? Oh my God, it's a buff. You shoot it, and what's going through your head when you have a fish of that size on?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we were driving and we were bouncing buffs. I don't know if everybody knows that or not, but we were doing about 15 miles an hour with the big motors in the back.
Okay.
And I didn't have a front steering set up at that time, so we just picked a straight line and let the motors go.
Oh, wow.
And Justin missed it over the back of the boat, and then it swam underneath the front. And I was like, "Don't shoot, Brian. That's a sturgeon."
Oh my
Because
gosh.
it came out probably 14 inches wide.
Oh.
And then he shoots and misses it, and then it just kept coming out. It looked like a little tuna swimming, and I'm like, "Oh my God, that's a buff."
Yeah.
So I think that was the first fish I shot with my RPM lever bowl.
Oh, sure.
Oh, wow.
Whereas I ran an old Matthews that was set at 70 pounds and whatever,
Yeah.
So I pulled back on it, and I'm like, just don't miss it. And I center punched it right through the dorsal fin and blew through it. And Rez jumped back, shut the motors down, and they missed it like 7 or 8 times backup shooting.
For the backup shot?
Yeah, I got a couple nicks in the side of my boat from Rez whiffing with the gaff, but we finally got her in.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, we were hooting, hollering, cheering.
Oh, I
It was-
bet.
It was like you shot a monster buck. It
Yeah,
was
right.
Just a giant.
Yeah,
fish
exactly.
pulling
When you shoot a buff of that size, that's like a 170 buck.
Yeah.
in. Yeah, I would even say bigger. I
Right,
mean, that's-
exactly.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're pushing 200
A lot of people kill 170s nowadays, I think.
Yeah.
That's a
Right.
giant,
true.
giant buck.
Wow. Wow. You know it's a big fish when you're worried that it's a sturgeon when you see it first.
Yeah, just how
Oh,
wide
don't
it
shoot. That's a
was.
sturgeon. Oh, never mind. Oh,
Yeah.
shoot it.
Yeah,
Wow.
you're just not used. Yeah, your mind frame isn't seeing a fish that big. You're
Right,
thinking
right,
a buffalo,
right.
You know.
Wow, that's crazy. That's very cool.
And like you said on the backup shots, 5 or 6 missed shots. Those are the toughest shots to make. For one, you're
Maybe.
super nervous on,
Yeah.
And that fish, you never know. It's always moving, of course. It
Yep,
wants to
it's
get away.
rushing. I would say that, but this fish was laying on its side and it was about the size of
Oh,
this table.
yeah.
It's a 55-gallon barrel
Yeah.
about 6 feet away from the boat. I mean, it was. But I think Brian actually hit it a couple of the times, but his tip was dull.
Oh,
and
yeah.
those buff scales are so tough
Absolutely.
that there's a lot of times you'll shoot big buffs and you don't even, if they're not even square when you hit them, your arrow will skip off the side.
Absolutely.
So that's why having a super sharp tip is pretty crucial, especially during the buff spawn.
That's it's big armor.
Oh, yeah. Those
And
scales
it's stacked on there for a reason.
Right.
The way it's laid on their body is for stuff to glance off of it. You know? Yep.
I know, just talking about backup shots, I know there's been a couple times when we'll have a camera in the boat and you've shot a fish and you want to get a backup shot in it. And boy, oh boy, the mental aspect of it, at least for myself, it's not just you see a fish to shoot. It's like, oh, okay, we got to make sure we get this. And it's a little bit of a mental game. You're like, okay, it's right here. Shoot it. It shouldn't
miss
be
it.
hard.
Right.
And then once you start playing those mental games, then form goes out the window and bad things happen. But it's tougher than people think.
Yep.
You know?
Because if somebody's telling you, hey, I need a backup shot, it's for a reason.
Right.
It's because you got a big fish on. And now this guy's like got all the pressure on because your arrow's already in the fish.
Right.
Oh, and the
right.
screaming, shoot
Yeah.
it.
That's exactly It's never just, hey, can you want to shoot this fish for me?
Right.
No, it's chaos. Shoot
Right.
it now. It's gonna get off. Go go go.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
Make it even worse, we had a crappy 2-barb flipping barb.
Yep.
One way the barb would fold almost to the tip, so you could just shake a fish off behind in the boat, and the other way it locked at a 90. So I had no idea which way that arrow was in the fish.
gosh. Oh my
Yeah, and
gosh.
I was just holding it above the water so it couldn't take off, And
Wow.
fish that fat, it doesn't have
Yeah.
a lot of speed anymore.
Sure.
But
Wow.
You got pictures of that fish?
yeah.
Okay. We'll have to,
We'll have to
make sure-
throw
we'll
some up in the video.
We'll have to get them up on a YouTube video of this podcast.
Yeah, very cool. So, Maverick, last year's tournament, you and your team won with 548.4 pounds. That's a 27.42 pound average. Big fish, 33.95 pounds. Did you find those fish scouting, or did you know what you were going to get into there?
We pretty much
Did you?
locked it all down scouting. I called the
Gotcha.
buddies, and I was like, "Yep, found it." We
Nice.
thought if it wasn't, I don't remember the weather. It was probably 38,
was
40
cool.
that year, last year for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "Well, these fish should probably stay," and I figured on the low end we'd shoot 25 to 27 pound average, and that's
Exactly what you did.
we
Cool.
grinded that night out. I mean,
Yeah.
every fish we shot counted pretty much, but I think we still could have pulled with our cull fish probably over 400 pounds easy.
Okay.
But yeah, just a
So it wasn't
Lot of nice fish.
a gangbester night. It was you didn't
No.
see a ton of fish,
No,
but the fish that you saw were solid.
I don't think we lost a fish or didn't get a fish that we saw.
Nice.
Wow.
So we shot 47 all night. We probably did 70 some miles on the water.
Oh wow.
Oh, my
on
gosh.
Onyx tracker.
Yep,
Our
yep.
average speed was 13 miles an hour.
Wow.
So I mean, we
So
don't.
you're
we shot-
covering.
We shot fast.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Exactly.
backup shots didn't miss. We were probably the least prepared for that tournament. We hardly scouted. Hardly did anything. We ended up showing up with like, where's all our arrows? We switched. We ended up taking different trucks and boats. We didn't know what we were doing until we got to Reese's house. So then,
Oh wow.
nobody had arrow tubes. We were running sure shots with dull tips and barbs half folding, and we were not prepared for that. But I mean, backup shots were in those fish with half a second.
Yes.
Somebody shoots the fish, and there's another arrow
Boom.
instantly.
Yep.
We'd throw it on the floor. We'd yell at Cody to put a tampon in it, and away we went. And I think slow down for 30 seconds and right back on the throttle.
So you put on 70 some miles with the average speed of 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just
Okay.
go back to that. That's insane.
Because
Good Lord.
the only reason I want to bring that up is this past weekend we put on 42 miles with an average speed of 6.8.
Oh, okay.
Just to kind of show the difference. there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, there's sometimes you got to shoot really slow, and sometimes when the fish are
Right.
they're that spread out, and you just got to keep. Just keep hauling.
You got to
till
keep
find
moving
them.
until you find them, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. So I got to ask you, last year you won the Big 20. What was that like? Did you get invited on the Letterman show? Were you on the Letterman show and all that stuff?
No, I got one up. I got invited on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. That's even better. There
Better
we
than
go.
that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does it, is it pretty cool? Pretty cool to win, something like that?
It was pretty cool. You're dog tired by the time you're here, and
Yep.
you really don't know what to say. When
Yeah.
you win it, you don't want to brag or be, it's
right.
You tell everybody later, like, yeah, I won that, but like when you're there, it's like everybody grinded out and shot all night. And it would probably would have felt better if we'd have shot a pile of fish that night, and you shot 400 or 500 commons and sorted, then it would probably feel like you earned a win, but to go out and shoot 47 fish in, I don't know, was it 12 or 14 hours of tournament time?
Right.
It just seems, I was like, I think I told you that year, I was like, if it wasn't a tournament night, we'd have been off the water by 9:30 and sleeping by 10.
Isn't that crazy?
Like we would not have been there.
Wow. Wow.
We had half of mine. There's a bunch of little fish there scouting, and I was like, well, if we don't have big fish, so let's just fill the boat up with little ones and have fun.
Sure.
We didn't. It's pretty cool. We didn't have the mindset to grind out and shoot all night for it, but we knew if the fish were there, we were going to have to. So.
I mean, because that's a big win because, some of these teams here in Wisconsin are top notch.
Oh, they're heavy hitters.
Oh,
I mean, we've got some great teams here in Wisconsin.
Yep.
And now you talk about teams coming from Minnesota, Michigan, Iowa, Illinois, Kentucky, all over, the Dakotas that are coming here also.
For sure. If you look at just what shows up to the WBA tournaments,
right,
the competition there is
absolutely
neck and neck with what you're going to get at when you go to Worlds or U.S. Bowfishing Championships or something like that. I mean,
absolutely.
You got the same category of guys there.
Yep,
very
no
cool.
doubt,
But
no doubt.
Wisconsin has some killers.
You bet.
Yeah, for sure.
You bet.
For sure.
Another thing that's cool, and I don't know if I'm sure you've noticed it this year, Maverick, but that I can't remember the name of that division now that they started, that hobby class.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool is that? I mean, there was over 15 boats, I think, in it last weekend.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I've been trying my best to message guys that you see at landings all the time that don't have a huge boat that they shoot a lot of fish and they shoot some big fish, but they can't compete against your airboats or your big, your fancy pusher fan boats or whatever. They just can't carry 30 to 40 fish that are 20 to 30 pounds. So that's a perfect class for those guys. You got to get 10 big ones. That's it.
Yep. What a great! I mean, like the people that are coming now to these tournaments that probably wouldn't come to tournaments,
exactly,
are having a good time.
Yeah,
they're enjoying this. Yep. They're really liking this.
Yep.
Otherwise, we would have seen those numbers declining throughout the year, but it's actually gone up.
Yeah,
for sure,
which is cool.
And I think that's cool too. It's going to get those guys so much more comfortable that over the next 5 years, they're just going to continue to shoot more and more and more tournaments.
Yeah.
They're going to start in a hobby class and be like, hey, we kind of, we got our introductory tournament out of the way here. We know what we're doing now. We're just going to keep graduating up. And
learned a lot.
And in 10 years, we're going to have somebody on the podcast and they're going to say, oh, I started out in the hobby class and now I'm shooting 6-7 tournaments a year. It's like, heck yeah, that's what it's all about right there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
for sure.
Very cool.
Yep.
Maverick, you shooting with the same teammates this year?
For AMS?
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Gotcha.
Cool.
That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's big.
I was just curious because you are shooting with different guys for the WBA shoots, and you're shooting in numbers for that.
Yeah.
But I think Josh and them guys have their own team that they've always shot in the Big 20 with, so that's probably.
I think most of those guys even have their own. Like I know Brandon goes out with his wife and
correct.
stuff like that.
Yes.
They shoot that, so.
Yep. That's cool.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, did you keep the $10,000 last year? Or did you split it amongst the teammates?
Oh, we split it. I tried talking them into it. Yeah. Yep.
You guys have a big party or something, or just?
We went out to breakfast afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ordered like 3 breakfast meals.
Right.
Ate it all, and barely stayed awake on the way home. Yeah.
That's cool. That's a nice little amount of money to split amongst your teammates and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I'll never forget the year that we won the Wisconsin Open. It was me, Dan Parker, and Tim Moranis. Mm-hmm. And like you said, we were hungry on the way home. So we're coming home. We're coming through Stevens Point, and we pulled into a Golden Corral on a Sunday morning.
That's dangerous.
And we were covered in we got into the fish that night. We were just head to toe, just stunk big time. I mean, it was nasty. We walk into that Golden Corral on a Sunday afternoon, like at 11:30 in the morning.
All these old couples sitting in there.
Oh, yeah, they're like,
ooh, something went bad in the kitchen.
But, man, it tastes good.
Oh, I bet. I bet you the calorie intake was just through the roof.
It's the best feeling in the world going to like a quick trip in the morning.
Oh,
yeah.
It's daylight out, and you get your early risers on a Saturday, and you're just covered in head to toe in slime and fish. You're soaked. And they're like, what in the heck is this redneck doing, And then they look outside, and they see the boat and just
tails,
20-some barrels full of fish.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, my gosh. And it's a pretty cool feeling then,
Yeah, you go up to check out, and the lady's like, hi, good morning.
What did you do last night?
What do you
Most
of
them in Wisconsin know.
They probably know.
I mean, they're like, oh, you went bow fishing? Like, oh, yeah. Yeah. You're definitely gas station famous if you got a bowfishing boat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're putting a lot of money there.
Everyone's always walking up to you. What are the lights for? And
Yep.
Yep.
See fish at night.
The best comment that I've had on, or the best response that I've had on that at a gas station is somebody came up to a bowfishing boat and said, "Oh, what do you guys do with that?" And the guy's like, "It keeps my feet dry."
Yeah.
I know we were somewhere and someone's like, "Oh, y'all shoot that? You shoot ducks with that thing?" We're like,
Ducks, herring,
no.
minnows. You get minnows. You
Yep.
collect minnows. Or
Yep.
collecting minnows and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good frog hunting boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Gigging.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's funny. That's funny.
I love the airboats. They're always like, how fast do those things go? And I'm like, oh, they hit about 90 to 100, and then it gets a little sketchy. Like, oh, I bet. Most of them are doing 40 miles an hour,
Yeah.
you know?
Or they'll come up to us with our fan boat.
Yeah.
Oh man, how fast does that go? I go about 7.
Yeah.
About 7.
You should say, don't say 70, you know?
Yeah. We should just
Always
start.
got to up it.
I was just going to say, we need to just start saying outlandish things. Well, how fast does that go? 3,
About
4,
10,
100.
110,
Yeah.
110.
Yeah, if we put the trolling motor in, pusher fan, and the outboard, we get about 105.
Yeah, we just were floating above the water, actually. Oh, yeah. So, Maverick, you been out scouting yet for this year's 20 yet?
No.
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 I haven't even been on the water in my own boat in a couple weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're not scouting right now. You haven't scouted. What do you think the difference is between last year's tournament being middle of May and now this tournament being in June? Any different mindset on what you might want to go look for or anything?
Sure. Difference of where you are in the state.
Yes.
Northern or southern is huge.
Right,
Your body's of water size. Last year was being early for common spawning, so you're trying to probably find smaller bodies and, you know.
Yep.
This year, I think the hardest part's going to be trying to find fish that aren't spawned out already.
Right. Sure.
You know,
Yep.
you know, there's big waters. I'm not, I'm not going to say a whole lot, you know.
Right.
But I was checking the bellies on a lot of fish this weekend, and some of them held, but I don't know, it was 90. I sent you a Snapchat, I think, of like 104 on my truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty brutal this week, so hopefully the fish aren't spawned out.
Yep.
Get some pretty big weights.
And by what you're saying out there is, like, for example, we shot a body of water for the WBA tournament this past weekend. The ones that we shot were tight. They weren't spewing eggs. They
saw
were
that,
solid and tight. Now, some of the other teams are shooting a different body of water. They were leaking, you know, and that hurts.
Oh, yeah.
That
And especially,
hurts.
I think
Sure.
your top 3 guys were only a few pounds off.
Right.
As far as your big 20 fish go.
Right.
Your kicker fish were huge for that, especially. But
Exactly. So that's a big difference there. And because you
Lot of
put those
tampons.
fish using tampons to plug them and stuff and try to hold that weight in there, but you can lose 5-6 pounds out of a big old common.
Last year, during the Big 20, we got 2 trailers here. We're doing two weigh-in stations. There was a boat that rolled up, and I don't remember the name, but I remembered the name last year when we saw the results. In their last big fish that they put in the barrel, they did not have it plugged at all. And the guy goes in to lift it in the barrel, and he slipped on his little step in his boat, and he slipped, and the fish fell. The fish fell on the deck, and it rolled down into the pit, and there were eggs coming out of that fish like crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, and his teammates are like, oh, I hope that doesn't.
shove them back in there real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't hurt us. He put that fish in the barrel. We got his final weight, whatever. And here at the end of the tournament, in the results, they took, I forget what place they were in. It's probably top 20. I mean, they did well, but they say they took 20th place. They didn't get 19th by like 2 ounces.
Oh,
Or
sure.
it was so close. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if that guy didn't drop that fish. You know,
Right.
and that literally can be the difference. If it's
absolutely.
the difference between 19th and 20th, it can be the difference between first and second. You know, I remember that from last year. I'm like, ooh, boy,
Absolutely,
they're going to
yeah.
plug their fish this year.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
buy enough tampons. We bought like 25 last year, and
Oh.
we were out of them. And it's hard to judge looking at what you scout because a 20-pound fish you don't really think is going to be weighable. And then you get 17 nice fish, and you got to weigh 17, 18, 19.
Sure.
And you don't plug them. Well, if they each lose a half a pound, I mean, you're losing 10 pounds overall,
Yes.
which is huge. Mm-hmm. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. We shoot with,
Absolutely.
we're all going to have fanny packs this year and like 400 tampons. So that's Cody's job. We throw him in the back of the boat. And just he's going to have to bring a headlight. Just throw him on the floor. He's going to weigh him and tampon him.
Yep.
Plug every
Yep.
hole in him.
That's his job.
Yeah.
Just imagine, you go into Walmart, buy some Red Bull or Mountain Dew or something, some food, some chips, whatever you need, water.
Yeah.
4 guys walking in to go check out at Walmart. They got all this food, energy drinks, whatever you need, and 50 tampons.
I got a great.
The lady's got to be like, what is going on here?
I call them carpons.
Carpons. There you go. Yep.
The last year at the U.S. Open, it was in Missouri, and Missouri Walmart. I don't know, people in Missouri are a little bit different, you know. So especially at Walmart, you get different kind of people in Walmart. And I was in there, and I could not find tampons, and I had to ask this older lady. She's about, I don't know, 4.5 feet tall and as wide as a doorway. And I'm like, well, I was like, where are your tampons at? And then she's showing me over there, and she's like, oh, what kind do you need? And she's like, oh, it's so nice of you to go be grabbing tampons. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, I don't know, what are the biggest ones you got? You know, the look on her face is priceless. And I'm like, she goes, how many do you need? And I was like, I don't know. And I grabbed, I don't know, 50 to 100 of them, you know. And she's just,
Oh, nice.
I'm sure she went home
You
and
never
told her
told
husband
her.
that. Oh, no, God, no. Yeah, she went home and told her husband, like, you're not going to believe what happened at Walmart. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Pretty great.
That's funny.
Any predictions for this weekend's tournament?
As far as me falling out of the boat or knocking somebody else out of the boat,
How you're going to do?
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But
You have, I know you haven't scouted for it, but do you have like a weight that you kind of, or kind of where you kind of think you can be or where you want to be?
I think if we can do, like, the goal is a 25-pound average, which we always kind of
Okay.
say. If we can come in with a respectable weight, you know.
Yeah.
It just 25 pounds and up, we'll be happy
Sure.
ourselves.
Yep.
As far as, you know, spawned out fish or unspawned fish, there's some pretty good spots that the fish probably are just going to be spawning by Saturday, but
Okay.
you're probably going to have 5 or 6 boats in there. So
Yeah.
now you got to try and figure out if you're going to share fish or,
Right.
you know,
Right.
you can kill 8 giant fish, but that doesn't matter if you don't have
Sure.
12 others to back you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
So does the limit on buffalo, does that change your strategy at all or not really at
Not
all?
this
Not
late
you
in the
guys. No.
no.
Okay.
No, that last year it could have, but
Yeah.
dropping barometric pressure, temperature, and then the temperatures going to that at the night.
Yeah.
We had some pretty big buffs found, but we didn't even waste our time.
Didn't even waste your time. Go look for them. Okay. All right. And
Yep.
then, you look at the last 2 weeks here and going into this week here, it's been dry.
Oh, so dry.
It's been warm. This whole week, it was 90-some degrees yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's in the 80s again today. It's supposed to be in the 70s and 80s by this weekend. And we may get some rain on Thursday or tonight or Friday night or something like that there. But it's been dry.
Yep.
And it's been consistent. It's been hot. So
Brutally hot.
brutally hot. Yeah. I think you sent me a snap. You were down in Madison working. It was over 100 down there.
Yep. Yeah, the commons were going like crazy down there.
Really?
All the guys that are going to go down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's, I don't know. You can still shoot some, a 38-pound fish full of eggs is still 32 probably or 33 empty. So
Yeah.
that's
Right.
I guess could be a strategy in itself too. I don't know. You don't even want to scout Friday night because then it's like, well, that's you get one chance of seeing these fish.
Right.
You'd rather save it till Saturday.
Right.
But you also got to check bodies of water.
Yep. Because you said that you were in South Dakota for the Worlds
Yep.
a couple years ago. We were out there too. And we got out there on Tuesday.
Okay.
And I remember just the amount of fish that we saw Tuesday night was just mind-boggling. All right? Just crazy. We went back there on Friday night before the tournament.
Not a
Couldn't
fish.
see nothing.
Really? I mean,
It had been so worked over from teams that were scouting. You could just tell because the grass was matted down. It was all chopped up and stuff.
Yep.
Those fish left.
Sure.
Because there had been so much pressure in that area. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing to it too for just where the fish are and
Right.
how many guys drive over the top of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but South Dakota, I think too, it was blistering hot the whole week. I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot of those fish were spawning, and everybody's seeing insane fishing all week leading up to it. And tournament night, it had to be 100 that day. The truck tires were sinking into the asphalt.
Yeah.
That they just
Yes,
poured.
right.
I mean, it was bad out there. And
Yep.
yeah, that had to be, your 2 to 3 feet of water temperatures are hot. So the
Right.
fish are going to go deeper, and now you can't see
deeper,
them. And
you
now,
can't see 'em.
it's
Then you add 4-foot rollers. Yeah.
more bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just back to your prediction there, Maverick. I like that because I like how you're not making any big promises because every year when we're doing boat inspections on Saturday, you're going through your checklist.
How
and
many times do you hear 30-pound average?
Oh my gosh.
Cracks me right
You
up.
hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you guys expecting? You guys on some big fish scouting? Oh, let me tell you.
Yeah.
We are going to shoot them up.
Yeah.
And more times than not, those guys either come back with not a ton of weight, or sometimes you're like, I wonder where those guys, they didn't even come back to weigh in.
5 nice fish maybe, and then you're dinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, I don't know. It's the seasoned guys. They know how much it can just switch on a dime like that. They're not going to make any bold predictions about it.
Some people don't realize what a 25-pound average really
That's
is.
true,
still
too.
5 fish over 30 pounds.
Yes.
You're 5 fish at 20. And now you're sitting back at 25 with, average size fish.
I hope you're going to be holding one of them plaques. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And it'll be interesting because this weather is going to play a huge role later in the season. It's going to play a huge role. So
Yeah, we'll try. We'll cover water. We'll
right.
shoot fish. We won't miss.
That's all you can do.
Back up shots and fish.
That's all you can do, Schmitty.
Don't hit that button yet. I got a little surprise for everybody.
Schmitty. Oh, I was just getting ready to hit our outro here.
Yeah.
And Schmitty is like waving me off.
Yep. So as you guys know, Big 20 this weekend.
Yep.
We're looking forward to it. It's fantastic. For this little bonus episode here, as you guys know, we do every other week podcast. We want to do a little bonus episode here with Mavrik. We got a little bit of a discount code that we're going to throw out here.
Oh.
All right. So
All right.
the code is for complete Lava Crux, our Lava Crux premium carbon, straightest shaft, best penetration arrow, PCCRUX 20, PC Crux 20. All right. That's going to get you 20% off any of our complete Lava Crux arrow assembled, the complete arrow. All right, so we just wanted to give it a little bit of a bonus discount here. That's our premium arrow shaft there. So feel free to go on the website PCCRUX PC Crux 20 for 20% off a complete Lava Crux assembled
Sweet
arrow.
deal,
Use it
Schmitty.
up. It'll go. We'll let it run here for a week or so, and we'll cut it off. So you're not going to get it again.
Absolutely.
So take advantage.
And don't forget, we're going to be doing a lot of Facebook Lives during weigh-ins and all that stuff. So make sure to be watching that. We're going to be running around, trying to show you guys as much as we can on our social media, on the AMS Facebook page and everything.
Yep.
So
Yep. I know whenever you're running around and you get a boat that comes in with some big fish, I was like, hey,
Yep.
Matt, come over here.
Yeah,
And I bet you put on a couple miles running between trailers on
running
weigh-in
back and
day
forth.
and whatnot. So, it should be fun. It'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, it should be a lot warmer than last year. Last year was
Yes.
cool when we were weighing in.
I remember it was like 40 degrees when we got there in the morning. We're like, ooh.
We had flannels on and stuff.
Yep. So,
Yeah. Are you ready, Mavrik?
Wow.
All right.
there it is.
There she is, fellas. You know what that means, Schmitty?
Time to wrap it up.
Time to wrap it up. Hope to see all you guys this weekend at the AMS Big 20. Best of luck to Mavrik and your team and to all of the shooters that are competing in this year's tournament. Best of luck on the water sculling. Be safe out there and shoot up them big old girls and bring them in. Yep. That's what it's all about. So from all of us here at AMS Bowfishing, we wish you the best of luck. Remember, aim low.
Think big. Thanks for listening, guys.